Ah, shoot, I had my mic off. Anyways, uh, greetings and salutations, meatbags. I am the Series 10 Emergency Reactor Operator, codenamed Zero. And today, well, I'm gonna be playing a certain game because I fell behind on the story. The game in question is Genshin Impact. Now, it's been a while since I last played this. In fact, most of my characters are extremely underleveled and undergeared. But hey, gotta start from somewhere. Anyways, let's get into it. Right now I'm taking part in a story about a, man who wants to get his hilly churl son back to his old self. I've already gotten to the part where the son is able to, jeez, I can't speak properly. Oh well. There we go. Now mind you, I'm a free-to-play player, so I won't be actually using money for the gacha. And I already know the rates in this game are even worse than Fate Grand Order for me. And that's not a joke. Alright. Oh wait, hold on. Is everything working? Oh shoot, I've got the desktop audio off now. And put this a little bit more like that. That's better. And as stated, lots of scuff.
Curses! Forest Rangers.
Hey! Who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Wow, rude much?
Have you seen a, hilly churl? A hilly churl should have, come past this way. Have you seen it?
I asked you first. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
I said, have you seen—
Hey, whoa! Look, sir, there's no need to get so worked up. There are hilly churls everywhere. What's the big deal? We see plenty of them out here.
Exactly. Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them back there. Those dumb boneheads.
Oh no.
You Forest Ranger scum! You spawn of the Seven are all the same! I'll have your heads if you so much as laid a finger on Curry Bear!
You're raving mad! You've got some gall coming here to our nation insulting the Forest Rangers!
Curse you all, Forest Rangers!
Jesus Christ, Hade.
I don't get it. Why make such a huge fuss over a few hilly churls? Makes no sense.
Well, they used to be people, so yeah.
He'd only just regained his mind. How could you do this to him? So tell me, Forest Rangers, did you really spare none of them? Did you really take out every last hilly churl you saw?
Jeez, you're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. If you must know, I happened to cross paths with a solitary hilly churl when I left the team to, use the toilet. I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just bumbling along in that direction.
Yes! Wonderful! Wonderful! Let's go! We have to find him!
Wait, you're leaving? Not even a thanks for the info, goodbye?
There he is.
Cory Bear!
He's probably extremely depressed over the fact that he's a monster now.
Cory Bear, stop! It's me! It's Papa! Whatever you saw, it was all a trick. An illusion. I told you, we're in a fairy tale world now. Nothing here is real. Please, Cory Bear, come back. It's time to go back. Cory Bear? How could this happen? He regained his mind. He must be able to hear me. Surely. Come, Cory Bear. We have to go home now. Papa's here to take you home, all right?
Yep. Looks like we may end up having to. That's extremely unfortunate.
Papa.
Cory Bear,
Papa, I can't take it.
please, Cory Bear. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all too much. Papa!
I see. I understand now. Finally, it all makes sense. Ah, traveler, you're awake. Finally, we can rejoice together. Wait, no. Why am I still calling you traveler? Oh, I have known your true identity for some time now. Of course you haven't. With your status, you can hardly be expected to know all of us. In any case,
Either way, this
I've been
guy is
using
a
a
few
fake
sandwiches short of
this
a big
entire
thing.
time. Ida is the name of a servant I once had. My real name is Clotar. Clotar Alberich.
Oh.
You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable, the power inside Cory Bear and the power of the one you call a sinner. It was one and the same. Yeah, I am positive now. It's the power of the abyss, isn't it? Oh, at long last, I have seen it. That is no business of yours. A sinner. Yes. Salvation for a sinner can only come from a sinner. Cory Bear did not deserve his fate, but now it's wonderful. He will be able to weave his own destiny anew. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate. Sinister. Dangerous. Oh, I never imagined that you, of all people, would deny the abyss. How ridiculous. We once believed that you would bring new strength and hope to Conria. To us, you were the abyss. A wondrous mystery far beyond our imagination and comprehension. And the one who controls the abyss can control everything. We yearned for that future. We looked to you to take us there. But what did you bring us instead? Oh, Princess of Conria?
I think you got your genders a bit wrong there, mate.
Why did he just call me?
Unless... Oh, well, that's a shocker.
Traveler! Hey, Traveler! Traveler!
Come to think of it, almost reminds me of that event in Fate Grand Order.
You're awake! Oh, thank goodness you're awake!
Oh, was this a dream?
Paimon was worried sick! Traveler?
What happened while you were unconscious? I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears that the Abyss tampered with them, and they've been in turmoil ever since. Information and memories flow within the ley lines. You mean Clotar Alberich? After founding the Abyss Order, his faith in the Abyss led him to do a great many things. But the curse of immortality continued to torment his body and mind. And in the end, neither his faith nor the Abyss he worshipped could save him. After 100 years, he lost his mind completely and was never seen again. Yet his dark legacy lived on. The defiled statue that we encountered previously, you could say that. She wouldn't be the Abyss Order's princess otherwise.
Are you alright? You have a troubled look on your face.
So you saw her memories from centuries ago, through your own eyes. It all but defies belief. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion of the Loom of Fate did indeed rear its head during that time. And it seems closely connected to Clotar Alberich's son, Caribert, and what happened to him. And yet your sister never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder, was that the moment that she decided to go down this path? Indeed. Clearly, this series of events sparked a long period of deep contemplation. What is it?
The field? What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, no.
You mean here? Well, let's start digging and see.
I get the feeling this is gonna be a horrible dig up.
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! Did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton, buried together. Interestingly, the male skeleton appears to have been interred much later, and it's holding a silk scarf in its hand. But what does this mean? And how did you know that there were bodies buried here?
Oh. He killed his wife. He killed her and used her as fertilizer for the mushrooms in order to try to save his son. But his... Or...
What? That's impossible. Unless Clotar Alberich finally found a way to... This all raises far too many questions. I need time to think. And to search my memories
So
for some missing
Alberich is the
pieces.
male skeleton, and
We
the
should part
female
ways here.
skeleton was his wife.
Huh? You're just gonna leave? Why? You could come with us, you know?
It's better that we split up for now. I think that he might have seen you.
Who's he?
Yes. I have my suspicions as to his identity, but I need to confirm some other details before I can be sure. If the time is right, I will tell you when we next meet.
But what do you mean that he saw the Traveler? How is that possible?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else, they are no obstacle to him.
What? Why? What is he?
All right, let's leave it there. Get some rest. Goodbye.
There goes Dane. What is it? Huh?
Aww. Alright, that one. Hmm.
Good old Caravan Rebot. Now let Paimon think. What were we up to the first time we came here? Oh, Paimon remembers. Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her. So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with. Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble.
That's a very good possibility.
Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out. Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway? Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but No need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle.
I mean,
So,
we could easily teleport
when are you
right
leaving?
back.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
Oh no.
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida? Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler and Paimon.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
Turtle.
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port! Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do! What do you think? us loads of useful information.
That ain't gonna
City
be
of the
enough.
Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward.
We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seemed to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
I gotta add to that.
No worries. Other visitors
you've
to
ever
Fontaine
actually
have
been in
wondered
a
the same
courtroom,
thing. You could
it
say
can
that
be
we just don't want to
incredibly
waste the
boring.
moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries
Especially
about
if
whether
you're
the
a member
cases
of
are
the
treated with due
jury.
reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
You're a trees? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
That means she's
No,
always...
no. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she?
I mean, it's just
maybe
water.
we better go check on her.
It's not like she's gonna jump off a cliff. And again, if I fell in the water, I'd probably end up causing a giant explosion of steam. Uranium tea.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? Ah, I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Huh, so Teyvat's got tales of mermaids too.
No people
Interesting.
call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Oof, that's depressing.
Sorry, Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
Ah, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon,
Like
and
his
this is a
clothes.
traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for
Rather,
Lynette to be so
in
willing
general,
to talk with
I like the
anyone.
top hat.
In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I
Pretty
also
much.
think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories, and that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now.
He didn't give you a
By
handshake,
the way,
but
we were just
where his
getting ready
hand
to
was
go to the
placed
opera
is
house to
oddly
meet the Hydro Archon.
suspicious
Would you be able to show us the way?
in multiple ways.
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
Oh, this does not bode well.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration! If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion who have journeyed here from distant
Interesting
lands.
eyes.
Is she talking about us?
Yes, she's talking about you.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority.
This is a
Intelligent
front,
people
isn't it?
always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Peter, it is never this easy. There is always a catch.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top? Ahem. Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
She just said she heard a tale of you.
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider.
Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa. Talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oof.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming...
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina?
I mean,
Is there some kind of drama going on?
yeah, boy.
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus.
You also can't help but notice she's
You
got a
may
full
consider
sphere.
this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this
And by full
traveler
sphere,
from
I
another
mean
land,
the Japanese
just
term
as you were
for
hoping to
okay,
see.
I believe is how it's pronounced.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Only have to work over the records. That's all. And of course, brandishing his rusty sword.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Ahem. Stand down, Clorand. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. I'm getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see,
They only changed the wording
then,
as soon as she
as the
said
god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
So, taking the cows.
Right! Now that'll be worth
Understandable.
seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it? According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
I'm afraid I'm not exactly the best
That's
for
what they
asking
got
for
wrong.
help. I mean,
That's our
my
Lady
team's
Farina.
really
No
unflexible.
one knows the laws of Fontaine
I
like
don't
she
even know
does.
why I'm here except to
You call that
go with the
obvious?
story.
What kind of law is that?
But
Wait, why
my
not
boss says it.
You mean Paimon?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Magician Linny, my beloved citizen, I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
The electric one in Kuma Inazuma. Oh, that one! The Thunderbird,
Ta-da!
right? Or is it a different one?
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Lenny do that?
Ah, so that's what the intent was behind that move.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Amusing. Very amusing, Lenny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's
I
enough for
gotta
now.
say, Venti would probably be extremely bound in this situation if being inebriated in public is a criminal offense. Alright, let's see here.
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. He never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So,
Well, it did.
now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but
Oh.
she is still amenable to
Almost
reason.
thought she was about to say the other word, but then I remembered they were not going to do that.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
Alright, as soon as I'm
My
out of
brother's
this
always
cutscene,
excited to make new
if you're still here,
friends.
Snow Fox, I'll see if I can't help
We
you,
don't really
or
have
if I'll
anything
just
to
be a
do next.
hindrance.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? You really mean it? This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
So it's basically a shopping bag.
What are they going to use it for?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the Nation of Justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day!
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
Oh, sorry. Alright. Am I finally free? Yes. Alright. Let's see. Alright, I should unlock this first. That way I have a place to return to. Are you still there, Snowfox? As soon as I get this, I'll head back to Inazuma and see if I can help you. Fontaine's blessing, the mysterious power, blessing, transonic source water, your progress will remain unhindered so long as you are moving through the lakes of Fontaine. Okay. That's been unlocked. Chromo, huh? Yeah, the Thunderbird. Let's see. Oh, looks like he's not here. Oh well, back to the story. Or she, whichever.
We mercs have one simple rule.
Alright, I've got... Wait, wrong one. Yeah. I highly doubt I'll be able to get anything with a single roll, but might as well try. Now the question is, who to roll for? Navia or Ayaka? You know what? Now just watch, it's gonna be a common drop weapon. Yep. Five off. Alright. Well, back to Fontaine.
Whoever pays the most.
Oh, that's actually quite a drop.
So you're the blonde traveler that everyone... Oh, a magic pocket? Seems you really thought of everything. I guess it's better to prepare for the... Thanks. Please, also thank the magician on my behalf when you get the chance.
What's this? So you also believe in the prophecy?
What? You mean...
No, I believe in the prophecy. But I also believe in another story. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. They were one with the ocean and couldn't live apart from it. But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus could people set foot on land.
Huh.
So, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Oh, we hadn't heard
That's
that one
an odd
before.
way of looking at
But
it.
people can't live underwater. They'll die. You should probably still take it.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily mean death.
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna be a long time before the water can cover everything. Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You should still take it. You never know when it'll
Take
come in
it she has
handy.
never heard of the tale of the grasshopper.
All right,
and
fine. Thanks. It's just that if I start moving, that means I've already given up on the life I have now. I'd really rather not.
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, what did people have to say? Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
I mean, they kind of did point out that the people have their minds change on a single whim.
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about, I was thinking about bringing him some more materials.
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help. Many hands make light work.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some Romaritime flowers. I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
It seems we have to use Hydro to collect Romaritime flowers.
Oh, that means I gotta switch and change. Okay. Oh, time to see if I can't get... Alright, party set up. Sorry, Sarah. I'm gonna have to switch you in for Aether.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
collect a few more. Oh, we could have just held the button.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
No way. I'm in power-saving mode today. Otherwise, I fear I may not have any energy left for the performance at the Opera House.
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the Court of Fontaine.
So, we're going to the Court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's largest city and try...
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
She's spying on you guys, isn't she?
She's obviously a thief.
Oh, a thief.
Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll... All right, let's go.
That was kind of weird.
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her?
I'm on. Peacock,
Oh, no.
hush.
Did she notice us? She started running the other direction. What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also be trying to lure us away. Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, let's go.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I didn't notice a thing earlier. Anyway, I should be going now. Thanks again.
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground. By the time I looked back, she was already gone.
I saw the general direction she went, but Lenny twisted his ankle, and I needed to make sure he was okay.
Oh, did you get hurt, Lenny?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. In fact, it's feeling better already.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
You're right. Sorry, Lynette. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief! Guess things turned out alright in the end, though. Lenny's initiative paid off!
All right, let's put this little detour behind us. We should go to the Court of Fontaine now.
This thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around! People in Fontaine really know how to use water!
This is an aquabus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around Fontaine. It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same. That's why it's better to travel with friends.
So you mean it's still boring even when I'm riding with you?
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, well, you don't really talk that much. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us. It's the same as being at home.
Whatever.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
Oh, excuse me! Aren't you the great magician Linny and his assistant Lynette?
Hello. I don't believe we've...
Frost.
I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
It's an honor to meet you.
Wait, could that be the legendary traveler who's been making headline after headline in their journey across Teyvat?
Amazing! You recognize everybody almost immediately!
I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who's who, would I? Wow, today must be my day! Who knew I would end up on the same boat as so many VIPs? Could my vision finally be showing me some favor?
So, Charlotte, what do you usually report on?
Well, when there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. That's fine and all, but what I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. These smaller stories are a waste of my talents. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases, actually.
You mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
Oh boy.
That's right! These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen. If I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird, Oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed.
So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace. But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found. Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation. I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Lenny.
Yeah, you kind of tempting Murphy's Law with that one.
Hey, we're almost there! Look! Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this. Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly. I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late. Okay, Hyman hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte. See ya! Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have time. What a tough job. Always running around and interviewing everyone. Well, where should we go now?
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides, I still have all the materials we collected.
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city is so huge, Paimon wouldn't know where to start anyway.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see.
What the?
Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped.
That was
Allow me
weird.
to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you! Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler! Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother.
Lenny, could you come here for a moment?
Hmm? What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me?
That coat looks really nice. Shoes look pretty good too.
Okay, I see.
Is everything alright?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably not.
it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers. It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Lenny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aquabus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aquabus to the island of Aeneas. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Oh, no need, no need. This will be a walk in the park for us. Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets! I could tell right away. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Whoa. So, is Linny actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Hey! Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Ah, well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments. But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines? Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials.
Hey, hold on! Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
That's bull
We're
hunky.
surprised to see you too! What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides,
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends? Listen to me, boy. If you want your Mora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
Oh, wait. Oh, good.
Who's next? Riptide!
Okay, yeah. I sucked playing with him.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it? Huh?
Now's my chance!
Ooh, nice elbow.
That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides...
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
that is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that, but my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
And no, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best, and the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya. Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now.
Better off
Besides,
without your vision.
I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon.
He was probably telling the truth.
Since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Linny's performance.
Seeing you two probably improved his mood.
Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along!
Why does this feel familiar?
Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered. Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next time. Hey, shouldn't we be headed to the Opera House to see Linny's performance soon? It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going. Linny said that the Opera House is on Aranias, so let's go ride the Aquabus!
It's only been an hour and 45 minutes.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
But what about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Same goes for this film festival.
Oh.
Hey, isn't that Xavier? So he's back in Fontaine now. Xavier!
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear Traveler and Paimon. Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontanalia Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors until the festival is finished.
The Fontanalia Film Festival?
That's a pretty ridiculous one, considering your
Is this your
investor
first time
breached the
participating in
contract
Fontaine's
by
Fontanalia Film Festival?
abandoning
Then
ship.
allow me to fill you in. The Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria. The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books, in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lille.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year. To commemorate the Loch Knights, people will imitate them by putting on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for pure water.
But a few years ago, Lady Farina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
That really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you mentioned?
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. I just got too excited after seeing you. Let me get back to the point. The Fontanalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Farina Award by the association.
The what award?
The Farina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Farina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Farina is still Fontaine's superstar.
Right.
Anyone with eyes can see
No
the way she
longer.
shines on the stage.
Huh. Alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
Chiori? Sounds familiar.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress. Her remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind soul.
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Oh, we
Why don't the two
probably
of you
do.
accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Wait. Huh.
Huh? Isn't that Charlotte? Who's her friend, and what are they chatting about?
Be pleased with the cherry on top, Charlotte! Journalist extraordinaire! Please tell me you're joking! I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as blubber beasts. It's true, isn't it? It has to be!
Hey,
I've invested
Roziel.
all my
How's it
savings
going?
into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of begdom.
What?
I need you to calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline. I admire your passion for your research, and I don't mean to dash your hopes for those, big-ticket orders. But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
It sounds like they're just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
She probably thought it was
Funny enough,
real.
I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice. But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it. They figured that the false intel would be a great way to dupe potential criminals into wearing ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth, Gardamex are extremely sophisticated in their capabilities. They can identify criminals just as reliably as the best human guards, so a crude disguise isn't gonna get you far. If anything, it'll just make you stand out all the more. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a slew of arrests, including, one phantom blubber beast, a titanic red-crowned finch, and a specter man. So I knew this story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by it, and investing so much mora for nothing.
Oh.
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain. Paimon thinks we should just ask
Financial
Charlotte what's
pain.
going on. Hey, Charlotte!
Traveler, Paimon, it's you! I was in the area taking some photos for a story when I got to talking to Miss Lapine Pauline about her research. She read an article in the Steambird about a criminal who evaded Gardamex detection by disguising themselves as a blubber beast. Inspired by this story, she spent a lot of mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamex target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
This is a new situation for us, too. It's such a pity. It seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had fun—
Wait, Miss Lapine Pauline, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamex, head to the opera at Biclez, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, no,
That
you're
way,
not.
I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Whoa, there's no need to go that far. I mean, come on, look at you. You wouldn't even dent the Gardamex armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up at the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your debts. Actually, instead of going into the technicalities of that, how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
270,000 mora.
Okay, well, escaping to the Fortress of Meropide over a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an equipment supplier to the Fontaine Research Institute before that blew to pieces, and now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years, but I put every last mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing. It's not just my savings that are gone, it's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day. My life is over.
Don't despair, Miss Lapine Pauline. I think I know a way for you to turn this around. this prototype you've given me. The camera lens for image recognition sample collection. It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've developed may have many
you said it was
applications
in
that
vain
you've never even
earlier,
considered.
but now you've reconsidered.
Really?
Absolutely. I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me. So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it! If this is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big-ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards. Oh, maybe I should consider taking out another loan. That way, I can rapidly improve the lens production process, be the first to market, and prepare to battle for dominance in the camera industry.
Come on! Stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it one step at a time and see...
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition device to a workshop to raise some funds. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner.
This is not gonna end
There's
well.
no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Can you believe her? She just ran off. Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out the other.
It's understandable. When inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out.
So
But
are
don't you worry.
artists.
I'm gonna write an article on all this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly. Her research has the potential to benefit the entire journalistic community. I'll give her plenty of input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes, and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's reassuring to know that you'll be looking out for her, Charlotte.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you two take this prototype lens? I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances to use it on your travels. It takes the right person to get the most out of a new technology. In your hands, it's sure to capture some amazing sights.
And it's probably never gonna get any use.
What a nice surprise! We were just curious about what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
You're welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story. The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't mislead any more well-meaning citizens in the future. My people are used to the desert life, but still, I hope that one day they'll be able to find an oasis of their own and leave the sandstorms behind for a better life.
Alright, it's been a little over 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call it here. But first, let's see. Alright, I forgot to collect these. Let's see, how many do I have? Definitely not enough for a roll. Alrighty. Alright. Thank you to those who came and watched the stream and joined me. I know it was kind of a bit boring and more like watching a movie than actual gameplay, but I suppose that's just what happens when you're trying to catch up in the story. Anyways, thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Maybe. Bye-bye!